Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Happy Tuesday. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, Mama Mia, and all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome, 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 guys. How was your Christmas holidays celebrations? Hope you all had a fantastic, fantastic time. Um, you know, I just I don't know. I think next year I'm gonna start. I'm gonna have some traditions. I realize I really have no traditions. Not even Christmas. I mean, yes, I celebrate, in the sense that I know it's there, but I haven't done like the major big celebration, like having a Christmas tree and all of that whole thing. And I think so. I think next year, I did say I was going to do it this year. But Lord, next year, Lord willing, I'll have some traditions. But I hope you guys had a great time doing whatever it is you were doing. I'd love to hear. I definitely love to hear what you guys did, what your traditions were, or are that you are keeping. Talking. To my mom, and just kind of reminded me of some traditions back home, with the different cakes that people, that we make. It's so funny. We were talking about in our community back in Tobago, well, how when I grew up, it wasn't about exchanging presents. It was more like exchanging food. So we would get all of these, like, people in the community would bring us cakes and breads and all of these things. And so it was just like, oh, right. How I grew up wasn't about the actual, presents under a tree, was exchanging foods. It's like we would give food items to others and they would bring us stuff. And so it's like, I forgot about that. I think I got in my head so much about, presents under a tree that I forgot about those food exchanges, at the time. But, so it was really, really interesting talking to my mom and just remembering all those wonderful things back in the Caribbean. And, that was the time that everyone just sort of, paint the house, put up new curtains, get new furnitures, or at least change the furniture, like the covers or like the couch covers. And it's just a special day with all these special foods. And Christmas time is like, I always tell people I used to smell Christmas because that's when we got like American apples, because the smell would be, there would be so much, and the smell was amazing. And so that's how, for me, for Christmas, I always associate it with a smell, and it was those apples, the smelling the apples at Christmas time, along with the baking and all of those things. And my mom asked me about, like, about baking stuff, and I really was like, I have no idea how to bake. I've never baked in my life. And so our family members were baking, and I was just like, I have never baked a thing in my entire life. I would not know how to start to bake. So bake a bread, like, oh my gosh, that I never done that in my life. So very interesting. Needless to say, as you could probably tell, I'm not a foodie in any sense of the imagination. I am not a food person, and so I don't really know how to cook. So, which is shameful for a Caribbean person. But yes, that's me. I'm one of the shameful ones. But oh, Connie Barber, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, my dear friend. Appreciate it. Um, so, anyways, that's my little non-tradition thing that I think I'm going to. Maybe by next year, I will learn how to bake. Oh, I don't know. I'm just not a. Maybe not. I was just like, scratch that. Because my mom's idea is like, oh no, you have to love the food, and I was like, I guess not. So I'm I was like, scratch that food idea. Maybe I learned something else. So, Rohini said, Pedal is from Tobago. Yes, I am from Tobago, Rohini. Yes, I am. And so I'm sure we probably still have those traditions that I was just talking about, painting the house and all of that stuff that I grew up with, that I have held on to none of them, as you can tell. And so, but yes. Oh, Tiger Cup. That's a tradition. I ate and watched Harry and Meghan docuseries again. I don't care about presents. I just love the holiday atmosphere. Oh, awesome. That's awesome, Time Cup. Hey, that's a tradition. Eating and eating. That's part of the Christmas or holiday celebration. And yes, I guess we're all into watching that docu series. I think I'm addicted. I'm definitely addicted. I watched some of it again last night for like the 50 millionth time, and I'm gonna finish watching it again tonight because I fell asleep. Because I've been getting up really early. And so I didn't finish watching it last night. And so I'm going to finish watching it today. So it's like, I get for like the, what, 10 time maybe. So um let me say hi. Actually, I realized I didn't really say hi to you guys in the chat. So Ann Fu, hi Ann from Trini, hello, and Fancy and Connie, thank you Connie again for your awesome donation. Church Nelly, our awesome moderator, is in the chat. Hello Church Nelly, and all our awesome squaddies from South Carolina. Hello. And let's see, I saw Lydia in here. Lydia, are you here? Annie, well, before I can find Lydia, so I see Annie is here and Diana's here. Hello. And Mary H is here. Hello, Mary H. Here's Lydia. I was like, I know I saw Lydia. Hi, Lydia. Oh, there we go. Lydia saying hello. And Lydia is reminding us, please, if you're in here, please give us a like. Please click the like button, share, and subscribe if you're new here and you haven't subscribed. And if you're able, please join our 2 Cents Crew. That would be awesome as well. So thank you, Lydia, for reminding everyone. I appreciate. Glenn is here. Hello. Oh, my clicky thing is not working very well. Good afternoon, Pedal, everyone, Pedal, Church Nelly, and everyone else she's saying hello to. So everyone, say hi to Ghislaine. Day is here, V Thomas, and who else is here? Oh, hi, C-Mac. C-Mac is here. Awesome moderator, Karen M is here. Hello, Karen M. And Brenda Gray and Cinderella. Mad World. Hello, Mad World. How are you? And Carol Purdue and Novidi. Hello, Novidi and Dolores. We said hi to Rohini earlier. And Patricia. Hi. Tiger Cub, I see you. We said hi to Tiger Cub earlier. And Sylvia Dixon. And who else is here? Oh, Nala Thandu is here. Hello, Nala Thandu, hanging out with us from South Africa. It's like season's greeting from South Africa to you, Pedal, Sussexes, and all our beloved squaddies. May the hedge of protection from God protect you and your families permanently. Oh, thank you for that, Nala Thandu. Don't we all need it? Our faves in Montecito definitely needs it because Lord have mercy. Some people are pressed. I was just like, people, it's the holiday season. Get out, smell some flowers. If there are flowers in your community, and I know it's cold, but wherever, go find some. Touch, if there are grass somewhere, if it's not too cold, go touch some. What is with this hate this holiday season? Goodness grievances. Audrey, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you guys for your support. Chimpetto doesn't know how to bake. I am sure clutching my easy bake open right now. No, I don't really know how to cook. I'm not a food person. My cousin used to laugh at me because I tried to cook, but it never tasted. You know how like some people, they would cook something and they would put all the seasonings and stuff, and it tastes amazing. And then I would try to do it, and it just never tastes the same. It's not even close. I'm not. And so my mom was like, no, you have to love the. And I was like, well, I guess I don't really love the food. Because because I'm like, not really. I'm not a food person. I'm very, my if I could eat like Thai food, like I'm very Asian food kind of person, and I don't really know how to cook it, so I mostly just buy it. And apart from that, I'm more of a just steamed tofu and veg. I'm a vegan, so I don't really the majority of things I don't really eat, and so for me, I would just steam vegetables, tofu, rice, very little pasta and vegetables. Beyond that stuff, I don't really know how to cook. And I've never baked in my life. I was like never even tried. I was like, I would have no idea what to do. So I don't really know how to make any of that stuff. Um and besides, and I think too, because I don't really eat that stuff. So I eat bread, like I love bread. But I don't really know how to make a bread. I've never had made it in my life. So maybe next year I'd learn to love food and then I make it. I don't know. I don't know. I have this kind of thing with food. It's it's really weird because I think if I didn't get like really horrible stomach ache if I don't eat, I don't think I ever eat because it's not ever in the forefront of my mind to eat, and I only remember to eat when I get really hungry. And so it's not something that, so when my mom is like, you have to love, and I'm like, I don't even know, I can't even relate to loving it because it's just not, yeah. And for me, if I don't really love something, I don't really pay attention to it enough. So that's where I am with food. And I think that's probably why I just don't know. I probably just don't care. That's probably why. How is Pamela? She's doing well. I could give her a call. She's fine. She's probably just busy with work and stuff like that. So yes. But I will let her know you said hello. Um Let's see. V. Thomas says, I am addicted to watching the docuseries Two Pedal. I fell asleep watching it again last night. Me too! I fell asleep the same thing. And I after like again about the 10th time I'm watching this thing. I love it too, V. Thomas. I'm so happy I'm not the only crazy person in the squatties. I am so happy that I am not. This is I'm like, there must be like a 10-step program for this kind of addiction. um, let's see. Terry says, I think we're all guilty of watching it over and over and over. There's a love story. Their love story it's special. It is. It is. And the cool thing about it is knowing that it's real. That is so cool. I love it. Tiger Cub says, Lydia, me too. I'm serious. It's serious, but yeah, such a feel good story because Harry and Meghan love story is so amazing. Yes, it is. It is, and I'm a sucker for a love story. Absolutely. Lydia says, I'm looking forward to my friend getting her soap. I will order some myself today. Oh, yeah, I mailed it out. So she should be getting it in a couple of days. It was so nice making it for her. So I hope she likes it. So let me know what she thinks. Yes, and I'll look out for your order. So yeah, so I mailed it out to her already. So hopefully she likes it. I love making soaps. It makes me happy when I do it because you get to play up in natural ingredients and stuff, and I love the smells of like essential oils and stuff. So it always puts me in a good mood. When I do it, and then I get to listen to all these really cool podcasts. If you guys haven't heard it, like yesterday, and the day before, I was listening to this podcast from Hillary Clinton. I think it's called You and Me Both, and it's so good. It is so good. And I was like, I had no idea she had a podcast on Spotify. And I was like, oh, so I actually tweeted about it. So if you guys are looking for, other podcasts other than Archetypes, that's really good. The one I listened to was um really it wow, what's her name, Gloria Steinem was on it, and she, it was amazing. And I could totally see like both of them and Megan doing a podcast, doing an episode of Archetypes, or Megan on her, I don't know if Hillary still has the pod doing, because she did it, apparently it was in the middle of the pandemic she did it, so I don't know if she's going to continue with it. But what's there is really, really good. So if you're looking for something, you know apart from Archetypes, it's called You and Me Both by Hillary Clinton. And especially the episode with Gloria Steinem, it was really good. So highly recommended. So, but that's what I do when I'm making soaps. I love listening to different podcasts and stuff like that. And so that's, yeah, that was cool. Let's see. So thank you, Lydia. And let's I'm gonna jump into a little bit of what I was thinking of today. Reminder, because I know we're all still up in Harry and Meghan's docu-series, that sometimes I keep forgetting about this one. I was like, oh, yes, 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 this is coming up. So just a reminder, on the 31st, this is going to be dropping. So it's really exciting. I think the 31st is Saturday. So this is going to be dropping Saturday. And, of course, I'm probably going to spend all day watching that and watching again for like the 50 millionth time the Harry Meghan docuseries. So, and so this is going to be dropping Saturday. Live to Lead by Harry and Meghan. Presented by Harry and Meghan, and also working with the Nelson Mandela Foundation. So it'll be amazing. I am excited about it. Very, very excited about it. Hope you guys are excited about it as well. And talk about Harry and Meghan docu-series in the US. It is all over the Netflix charts. As you can see, you can see it as number 1, then it's numbers 3 and 4, number 10. So different episodes are in different places there. And so the number 1 episode is episode 4, and then you have episode 5 and 6 is 3 and 4. You have at number 10, you got episode 1. I mean, so, and I'm assuming the other episodes are, because I only saw up to 1 to 10 are further down. But it's really cool. It's really cool to see, and this goes up to, I think the date, it goes up to the 20th. I think that's as far as we got. So we don't know for the, say from the 20th to now. So I guess probably going to get that next week or something. But it's really, really, really awesome. It's so awesome to see. So many people are just all over this series, all over the world, and it's wonderful. And I just love our faves are like, you guys just enjoy it. We're gonna be over here nice and quiet. Thank you very much. So whatever they're doing, I just, please keep them in your prayers, because the devil is sending its his minions from all over to come at them. So here you go. But I am happy. I am so happy for this, to see that people are still there wanting to learn and know more about them. And it's just wonderful to see. It's really, really wonderful to see that people are really into the love story. And that's the thing I hear again on Twitter so much. It's like, just watching it is like, wow, I believe what they say. I believe everything they say. And the way it's presented, the music, the everything, what they are saying, the love story, it's just, oh, anyways, I just love it. And obviously, Spare's coming out. And I am so excited. I know we are all excited. I'm all bought. I mean, I think I bought every way you could. I got the Audible, and I'm also gonna get the hardcover, and also get the I'm also gonna get the Kindle version. So I'm gonna get it on all. One of them I'll send to my mom, obviously, but but it is so exciting. So Josephine, one of one of this account on Twitter. She's not a squatty, but she definitely supports the Sussexes, and she posts about all royals, but she definitely favors a lot the Sussexes. And so she posted this. Apparently, you can get a spare gift card, and I was like, oh, had no idea. So I guess in her local store in the UK, she's in the UK, she saw that, and then we have Winifred on the right. She posted you can get a little bag with spare. Just like, oh, very interesting. I love it. I love that the bookstores are doing, they're advertising spare. And so that is really, really wonderful. I'm telling you, I don't know, I honestly don't think a part of me feels like much of spare is probably not even going to include a lot of the say Charles. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of chapters dedicated to them, but for me I just have a feeling that the majority is probably going to be him in the military, and then him now. I don't think he's going to dedicate a whole, and again I don't know, that's just my thinking, a whole lot. I just don't think he's going to dedicate a whole lot to at least not what the British press are assuming that would be like, oh, he's going to spend the whole book trashing his family. I just don't think that at all. I mean, one, Harry doesn't do that. He's not that kind of person. And so I just don't do it. I think for me, just from what I've seen of him and what his passion and what his focus is, for me, is a lot more of the military, just his life, the things he's learned from the military, and and mental health, the challenges he's faced and how he's overcome, and now. So yeah, of course, I'm sure growing up he'll go into stuff like that, but I just don't see him spending the majority of the book on William and and Charles, because I don't think they are the influence in his life. I mean, negatively in a lot of ways. I just don't. Yeah, I don't think so. Especially when you saw in the docu series where he talks about being in Lesotho and different parts of Africa, where he basically said they raised them, that they. So I just don't think, maybe you'll have a lot of Mark Dyer in there that helped him. He was like a second father to him, or really more like a father than probably Charles has been. So yeah, I don't see some book about him trashing them, or even have a whole lot about them in there. I would think a lot about his mom and getting over, but I don't see it having a lot of Charles and William at all in there. What do you guys think? I mean, I know we've talked about this, and some people are like, "Oh, just wait till the book comes out. Stop trying to guess. Stop trying to." And I get that too. But I love, sometimes I love speculating about what I think could happen, and then we'll see if it pans out. But if you don't want to, that's fine as well. Some people don't like that, so I'm sorry. I like to do it sometimes. Um, and it's so funny. Archwell Baby posted this, frequently bought together. So I guess this is from Amazon, and it's wonderful to see Meghan's #1 bestseller, The Bench, and also the Get Together cookbook, and also Harry. So all three of them #1 bestsellers. Amazing. And you can get it all at the wonderful price of $48.31. But it's just everything. I just love how whatever they touch just turned to gold. Oh, #1. And so it is just, it's wonderful. And so it'll be interesting to and I'm hoping that everyone tune in to the Live to Lead, because it's going to be amazing. And so of course it's not going to be as juicy as Harry and Meghan docu-series, but it will be awesome. And so yeah, but I am so excited about Spare. I am so excited for Harry to get. And it's funny because I had been thinking about Robert Jobson, because Robert Jobson, just a sort of cutaway here. So it's just as an aside, Robert Jobson has been the one reporter that from the moment he heard that Harry was writing a book, that man has been going in on Harry about this book. I mean, he has tried threats and all kinds of things. And it finally dawned on me that, you know what? The reason why Robert Jobson has been attacking Harry so much about this is I will bet you 100% that Robert Jobson had started writing Harry at 40, because Harry, he's going to be 40 soon. And that's what he's been doing. He's written like Charles at 70, William at 40. And I can guarantee you that Harry writing his book has, kabushed his whole his whole book. Because I'm like, that, I mean, the only reason why he would be attacking Harry this much and just be so over the top about Harry writing a book is because it's taking money away from him. He can't now go ahead and write a book about Harry, since Harry's writing a book about his own life. And knowing that he literally wrote this book, William at 40, which is a horrible book, by the way. I don't know how you write a whole book about somebody who has accomplished nothing, but there you go. That's why it bombed, because it's a book about nothing. It's horrible and bunch of lies as well. And so for me, I was like, that's why he's been so attacking in Harry with this book, because I'm sure that's what he's been doing, writing Harry at 40. And then all of a sudden Harry decided, I'm gonna write my own book. So if you remember when they didn't get pictures of baby Archie, all of a sudden he seemed to have went into a depression, because that, again, kabushed his own book, his or royal baby. He couldn't get pictures for his royal baby book. Unbelievable. But anyway, that is, I'm sure we all are waiting for the moment that book drops. I know that I am. So yeah. What else is there? Oh, I saw this, and one of the things I've been advocating for, and I don't know, I'm hoping, I don't know, I know uh Spotify, I think it's Dawn Ostroff. I think it was her that did an interview recently, and she was definitely praising archetypes. And then she didn't confirm if it was coming back or not. She didn't comment on it. Obviously, the Sussexes, they go in stealth, so they're not gonna confirm anything until it's ready to go. But one of the things that I've been advocating for is Harry to do a mental health series. And so when I saw this in the Times, which the Times of London, I was like, oh, this would be so perfect, because, they're talking about veteran fight back against the scourge of male suicide. And it's interesting seeing it in a British tabloid, because when people in the UK, especially men, speak out about them, going through mental health crises, they're a lot of times they are, bullied. They are, people mock and make fun of them. And, it just, especially like on social media. I mean, look at what they do to Prince Harry. Look at what they do to Meghan. People speaking out about going through just really mental crises, and this is what they get. So a lot of people, a lot of men, are committing suicide. And it's an epidemic. And I knew that, especially, when we were doing A Piece of My Heart, which is a play I talked about on here before, about veterans. For us, was women veterans from the Vietnam War. And that's when I learned about the high rate of suicide among veterans. And I think from this article, it says 135 a day. And it is it's alarming, the amount of veterans that commit suicide. And so that's why I was hoping that Harry, because they respect him so much. And I just think it would be amazing for him to do, I don't know, if they will or not. I don't know where they are with it, but it would be amazing. So I read this. It said this vet, he would say, this is part of the article. 17 of my friends have attempted or planned suicide, he said. That's a group of strong, robust, really competent people, not who you would expect to reach that point. He refused to blame their military service, though some will have seen awful things. When people are in the army or they leave, they are looked after and generally in a good place, he said. It is in society they struggle, and that can be caused by depression, relationship breakdown, or long-term injury or childhood trauma. And so that's why for me, the stuff like this is it's so sensitive, especially, it's in terms of, say, Prince Harry. He is a veteran. God, the things they saw in war, I mean, it's traumatizing. And then when he speak out, people attack. And that is why, and like, we need to really, really pray for, especially the ones that you would, like you were saying, these are not people you would think would do stuff, who would do that, who would even be in a place to think that. But it's like, that's why it's so important that we embrace Harry and Meghan, just love them, because again, as we see them speaking out, and instead of people understanding and people embracing and, really caring, they go on the attack. How dare they speak out about their trauma? How dare they speak out, especially if it has something to do with the royal family, whatever, oh, we're tired of hearing you. When are you going to stop talking? What? And all of that stuff affect people in such dangerous ways. And so that's why for me, when they're talking, I'm like, talk all you want. Just keep talking. If that's what's helping you. Just talk, And yeah, so I would really love to see him do something like this. And I don't know, hopefully, who knows where they're going to take their podcast, but it would be a great thing, I think. And it would help a lot of these men as well to hear from him, because they have such a respect for Harry. And, again, another, Harry he also did the Me You Can See, obviously, which is an amazing, absolutely amazing a documentary, which because of the nastiness from the British press, a lot of people in the UK did not watch because of that. And so, and a lot of them need that documentary. It will help so much. And so, who knows? So, but I'm glad to see this veteran. He is supporting an organization, which I'm going to put the organization at the end. I'm sorry, in the show notes, so that way you can take a look at it. And I'll also put a link to this article, so as well. And oh Lord, American Karens. One of the things that, I mean, we as squatties and the majority of people watching Harry and Meghan they love them, and then we love the love story, and we love, and also we, really appreciate the fact that they have a platform where they can speak and they can say what happened to them, and we can know the truth about what happened with them and why they left and all of those things. And then also, again, see the real love between them, and just see two people who just love each other, just try to live and try to, thrive in life. But unfortunately, there's some Karens among us that are just jealous. It is, and they're all of a certain persuasion. They're all, it's like these middle-aged white women who watching two people in love, and especially one of them being one that I'm sure that many of them were fantasizing about. They have their princess fantasies, and the majority of them were fantasizing about being the princess to Prince Harry. And then seeing the love that he has for this biracial woman has sent a lot of them over the edge. because all of a sudden, they before the docu-series, they can live in their fantasy that Harry didn't love Meghan and it's fake and all the things that fake, their romance is fake and Harry's gonna leave her for them, and so they can all live in that fantasy. But all of a sudden, to have a 6-part documentary with their love thrown in their faces, they can't deny it. So it's just coming out in different ways. And Joanna Wise, our latest Karen, or Boston Karen, has decided to spill her hate and her jealousy and all. I mean, it's not the first time she's written nasty things about Meghan, but she decided she's going, and I'm like, I'm not even going to read that article. I'm not clicking on it, whatever. But I know it's there, and I thought I'd bring it up because I know you guys, whoever you are, whoever of us are on social media, have seen it. And so, she wrote this article for Politico, which, I don't really pay attention to Politico. Apparently apparently it used to be good and now it's kind of trashy. So I don't really pay attention to Politico. I don't ever read Politico. So, and so she apparently wrote this article. 2022 is a year we all finally got tired of narcissists. And as you can see from the picture, the narcissist that she decided to put there: Trump, Kanye West, I don't know who that guy is on the bottom, but that's Elizabeth, whatever her name is, from that woman who, I think her company, I think she's like the owner of Thanos, this company that did something with blood. I don't know the whole thing, but some kind of a fraud case she's doing. I don't know the whole ins and out of her issue there, but she's going to prison. Needless to say, don't know who the guy, the black hair at the bottom is, but that's Kanye. The other one that she claims is an narcissist is an Elon Musk, who now owns Twitter, obviously. And around all of those people who have literally, some of them committed crimes, in the middle of all that, she puts Meghan. And it's just like, so needless to say, Twitter has gone after her. I mean, large accounts, small accounts, Sussex Squad, fellow reporters. I mean, so many people have gone after Politico and her. And so basically she's kind of trending, and as the hashtag Joanna Weiss is racist or something like that is trending on Twitter. And the editor of Politico is now on Twitter trying to defend it, and everyone is going after him because apparently the article is really an article where she is dumping on Meghan, but trying to frame it as, pulling all those other people in to, I guess, make it not seem like it's just just a Karen dumping on Meghan. And so it's really, as you can see, Chris Boozy's tweet at the top: placing Meghan Markle in the center of criminals and anti-Semites is not an accident. The hate of Meghan is palpable. A woman of color protecting her family, defending herself against isn't narcissism. It's survival. A Joanna Weiss and a Political mag should apologize for this garbage take. And it just, I mean, garbage take is putting it mildly. Meghan is literally there trying to, live her life, try to save her family, speaking out against racism, speaking out against, the horrendous treatment she's gotten by the British press, the torture and abuse, speaking out against it. But, to our Boston Karen here, that's called narcissism. And someone was so right on Twitter. They said, it looks like narcissism is the new N-word because they usually tag Black women onto that word. And it just like, it's unbelievable. And again, now I shouldn't say unbelievable because it's become so it's so a thing now where, with whether it's white females or white male reporters, where especially now in America, it's just like it was all in Britain for a minute, and now all of a sudden it's come to America. Okay, we are now going to dip into the pot of that billion-dollar industry of, the I hate Meghan Markle industry. So let's dump on her. Let's find some way to include her name, because when I include her name, there's going to be a lot of people coming and they're going to be clicking on it, and that which is going to give me, engagement. There's going to be the outrage, which will publicize my article so that more and more people would know about it, and which will bring me more money. And it is the same pattern that the British press did. It's the same pattern that is now in America. It's the same exact pattern. We saw Variety did it the other day. We've seen Politico do it. So expect, that a bunch of others are going to be doing it. New York Post has been doing it forever. TMZ, Fox News. So all of them now, they have all realized, like, oh, wow, there is so much money in hating Meghan Markle and using her name for clicks and using her name, because if I attack her, all of her supporters are going to come and it's going to mean engagement for me. And so here we now go again. The good thing is that now Meghan isn't, she can speak up. She can speak for herself. She's not, she isn't silenced anymore. But it's so sad. It is so sad. Again, especially these Karens, it is just like they are all they are jumping right in. And apparently this woman, look at her back in 2012, at the bottom on the left, there she's talking. This woman is like, I'm sensing a royal fetus column in your future. And Joanna Weiss, this is back in 2012. You read my mind. I'm actually thinking a lot about Prince Harry, which is a lot. I mean, that if you look at a lot of those women who hate Meghan, if all you got to do is scroll back in their social media feed, and a lot of it links back to years before Meghan, where there's some relation, either they're lusting over Harry or they're wishing they are married to Harry or whatever. But it's just about all of them have this fantasy thing with Harry. And so Harry now, again, having that documentary there, and Harry is in love with this woman who doesn't fit their princess, blonde hair, blue-eyed mold that they envision he would be, or they put themselves in there, and all the hate at Meghan. It's unreal to see it. Absolutely unreal to see this kind of thing happening. And again, Meghan literally, a week or two ago, when the episode on the 15th, when the last episode dropped, when Meghan literally is talking about people inciting hate towards her and how she fears for her family. Yet, this is what Politico puts out. It is now where Meghan is she's a thing to them. They don't care. They literally don't care that harm could come to her. They don't care. And so for me, on Twitter, I refuse to engage in it. I refuse to, retweet any of their stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on the positive stuff. I'm going to focus on the work that they're doing and leave Karens alone. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable that to see women just, just don't care. They literally don't care. And, it's so funny. I was looking at these pictures. I can only imagine them pulling their hair out when they saw these pictures. This is only two of Harry and Meghan in the docuseries. I can only imagine. I could imagine them as that one who put her face, who photoshopped her face on Meghan and Harry's engagement photos. I could only imagine. Hairs pulling out, I could only imagine what they must think seeing this, because again, before they saw these pictures, they can revel in their thoughts and they can revel in their fantasy that somehow Harry and Meghan's love is fake. But now they have it in front. They have their photos in front of them and they can't deal, And it's funny, but I've talked about Megan Thee Stallion on here before. But there's this article in the Washington Post from Karen Attia, And she talked about, I'm just going to read some of it. It says, opinion by Karinatia. This is a tale of two Megs. The trajectories of their lives and careers could not be more different. Yet, over the past week, both represents how systemic abuse of Black women work, no matter how rich or famous they are. And I'm just going to take off my brand here so I can read. Yeah, there we go. Read this. And exactly, I'm going to do this so it can be bigger so you can see it. There we go. It's so part, it's a kind of lengthy article. So this part of it is, it says, when it comes to abuse of Black women, the real conversation we're afraid to have are those about actual foot soldiers of misogyny. In Markle's case, the documentary noted that a large number of the social media accounts launching and amplifying and the most attacks against her belonged to white women. In Megan Thee Stallion's case, most of the jokes and vilification have come from Black men in the hip hop industry. The people who should be Black women's allies against sexism and racism are often the ones inflicting the most damage. If a light-skinned mixed-race duchess and a Grammy Award winning Black woman artist are not safe from white women or Black men, what about the rest of us? Most women don't have the resources to sue the media or hire high-powered lawyers to confront those who we've accused of hurting us. And we're not going to self-care or talk therapy our way out of systemic mistreatment. Meghan and Meghan offer high-profile proof of the multitudes of violence against Black women time after time in a world. Let's just move our clicker here. Sorry. Let's just move our banner so we can read the rest of it. Yeah, Meghan and Meghan offer high-profile proof of the multitudes of violences against Black women, time after time, in a world determined to break us. Our survival is nothing short of miraculous. And it's, in Christopher Boozy talked about this on the Harry and Meghan docuseries. Yeah, that the majority of accounts, the majority of people that are attacking Meghan, literally 90, probably 99.9% of the people, or maybe 95%, of the people attacking Meghan are white women. And if you know anything about the Meghan Thee Stallion case, where Corey Lannis was just convicted of shooting her, there was so much hate against her. This girl was shot. She was a victim of a violent act, and yet people were attacking her over and over, and not just men, Black women as well, attacking her, the victim, and believing him. And it's been a horrendous what has been done to her as well. And it's just wild that they're both, spelled a little bit different, but they're both Megans. But it's distressing to watch the abuse that both of them have been getting. And again, with Meghan, the majority white women, and a lot of them white women with huge platforms, whether it's in the UK or in the US, it's the same across the board, white women. And it's just it's something that is like, and that again with the docuseries dropping, it is just like, ooh. So it's really, really, and as Karen Atia was saying, you would expect, as a woman, women would be your allies, but no, not in Meghan's case at all. And as a Black woman, and Megan Thee Stallion, she's a rap artist. You would think the rap world would be in her corner. Nope. They have been mocking her, calling her a liar, a snitch. I mean, it's horrendous what they did to Megan Thee Stallion, and are still doing. Imagine you were a victim, shot, and people are mocking you. Even when you show pictures of your injuries, they're still mocking you and calling you a liar. And it just, again, when Black women speak, when Black women share their pain, people don't believe it. Even when, as in Meghan's case, even when you present evidence, they don't believe you. Unbelievable. And again, with say Black men, I always come rag on them. Not all Black men, obviously, but a disturbing amount of them hate Black women and attack Black women. It is so despicable and disgusting. These are people that's a pure thing. Because when you think of, especially as Black women, when there is something happen against a Black man, we are the first to be on the street protesting for them. We are the first to be out there supporting, to organize whatever it is to support. Yet when something happened to Black women, they dump on us. Why is that? Unbelievable. But anyways, I'm going to jump into chat for a bit and see what you guys are saying, and we'll come back to stuff. Yeah. Dolores says the royal family and Rupert Murdoch have been cut out front every single day with their hatred towards Meghan. Yeah, absolutely. And the Politico is not, a Rupert Murdoch paper, but apparently the guy, and I didn't finish reading the article, actually just glanced at it. Apparently the owner of Politico is in that mold. So it would be interesting finding out, and I think he is like a German guy or something that owns Politico. But the editor is definitely under fire and people are coming after him because to have allowed, again, it's the same thing as with the Sun. It's like the Sun part 2. They saw what happened with the Sun and are trying to get in on it. And it's, yeah. So it'd be interesting to learn, who he is and, just sort of, because apparently, and again, I haven't read it. Other people have said it, that he's in the mold of, at least his mentality is the mold of Rupert Murdoch. So it'd be interesting. And apparently a Politico used to be a good paper, but not anymore, I guess. So it says, Pedal, didn't they take the promotional tweet down? Apparently they did. Apparently they changed that into something else. I didn't go back. I blocked both of them. So I didn't go back to see whatever they changed it to because they were getting trashed. They did not expect the and especially with big accounts and other reporters coming after them, they did not expect the backlash that they got. And so apparently they changed it, but I blocked all of them. So I didn't go back to see what they changed it to. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Lydia said they did, Sylvia, but the article is still the same. Yeah, the article is definitely still the same. They didn't change the article. So they just changed because I guess they didn't want the backlash. Yeah. Let's see. Carol said, oh, she's talking to Maggie, says the keyword is majority. Most of the hater accounts are run by white women and men. We know Meghan has supporters of all colors. Glad you're on board. Yeah, again, this is not all white women here. It's just the majority of the hate accounts are run by white women. Middle American and UK. Middle-aged to older white women. That's like the largest demographic of haters, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. The same in the US, and just about all of them are right wing. Yeah, it just unbelievable. Let's see. Terry says Politico is trash anyway. Yeah, again, I've never paid attention to Politico, but apparently it was good, and now it's what it is now. So yeah, let's see. As I go through the chat, let's see. Hmm. Oh, the lady says, Sherry, just waiting for my son to go to work, then I'll be watching H&M docuseries again. I'm so happy that we're all addicts together. Somebody again probably needs to have a 12-step program we could go through to break our addiction, but I want to be addicted for a little while longer, so I don't mind my addiction. Colette Cooper says, whatsoever dig at the pit, they shall fall in it. Oh, okay. So all those who are attacking Meghan and Harry better be careful, especially those of you who have children. God will reward soon. Feeling. Okay. Not sure I understand, but I do understand, be careful when you dig pits for others because yeah, you might be the one falling into that. Absolutely. Let's see. Adrian says, hello everyone, just listening as I prepare for my trip. I am so sick of these self-righteous Disney characters and their trash media. These people are trash who trash other people's lives don't have one. That usually is a lot. I mean, I've never seen a person who is truly happy with themselves and truly happy in their lives do stuff like this. So it's a good barometer when people, go out of their way to write these hit pieces, and apparently it's not they also, and I haven't read it and I haven't seen it and I don't really want to. I apparently they also did a hit piece on Vice President Kamala Harris, and so it just, again, going after Black and women of color, and then it's, and it's not the first time I've seen them do that. I know the Hollywood Reporter did something like that to Letitia Wright. That's the actress who is in Black Panther. When they list like people who would have problems for the Academy Award, have problems, getting an Academy Award nomination, and they put her in a group of abusive men. One of them, the other person that shouldn't have been on that list is Will Smith, because honestly, whatever you think about Chris Rock, I totally deserve that slap. So I'm not even, they put him in there, which I don't think they should have. But other people on that list are people who, have had abusive past, sexual, physical, involved in physical violence, sexual violence and stuff. And then they stick her in it. So she had went after, I think his name is Scott Stringer. I think his name was the reporter who writes for the Hollywood Reporter. And she went after them. It became a big thing. But it seemed to be a thing with them lumping Black women into these groups. And it's just, so when I saw it, that's what I remembered, because I remember Letitia Wright going after them and not letting them get away with putting her name in that group of people. So it is, it's a thing about white people attacking Black women. Let's see. Again, Solod says, I have a 1-year-old Black daughter, and I can tell you, I fear for her future in the US. We are not protected, and we get vitriol from all sides. Hello. You can, I mean, it just, I think, who it is that said it? I forgot who the quote. I think it's Malcolm X. I think that says the least respected people are Black women or something. The least respected and least protected are Black women. Yeah, and that is the absolute truth. You would think that you can depend on, say, other women to, whether it's Black, white, whatever, but no. A lot of times they attack Black women. You would think the Black men would be there. to, be a support and to be protecting the Black women. But no, instead they attack and belittle and put us down. And it's amazing. It is really, really, really sick. And so I totally understand that fear against all odds. I would feel the same. And so that's why for me it's so important that we are there and supporting each other, because honestly, I said this before, the only people that Black women have to depend on are us, because no one else will. We can't rely on anyone. We can't rely on us. We have people who are like, oh, we're allies, but when push comes to shove, a lot of times they would just leave us. And so the only people that we have to rely on is ourselves and the Lord. That's it. That is it. You know? So that's why we really have to be there for each other and for our young ones coming up. You know? So, yeah. I hope, I hope that by the time she gets to be of age where she notices these things against all odds, that, things will change, that it wouldn't be where we are. Unfortunately, a lot of times it looks like it's going backwards. But I'm hoping that the generation coming up is just that will be leading this country would take us in a whole other direction, so that way, by the time she grows and could recognize stuff like this, that it's changed to a point where it's in so much more of a positive place for Black women and girls. So now it just isn't. Let's see. Dolores says the royal family and Rupert Murdoch have been out. Oh, I think I read this one already, Dolores. Sorry. I got that one. I got you on that one already. Let's see. And Louis says we these people who have fantasies and dreams about Meghan and Harry, their mental baggages should be taken to the airport, or they visit the first psychologist in their journey. These people are sick. Yes, they are very sick. They are very sick. I mean, we've all at some points like, oh, I love this person, whatever. But to really get to a place where you're going on social media or you're creating an account just to hate on the wife of a person that you're obsessed with, like, that is just next level. You need help. You are mentally, like, seriously, that is, on top of everything, that is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. Like, I can't imagine opening up an account and spending 24/7 on an account just hating somebody just because I can't have her husband, or writing articles hating on the person because I can't marry her husband, or I can't have her husband's babies. I mean, that is sick. That is really, really sick. And to that be the thing to have on your mind, so that it could be published right after a holiday, we're in the middle of the holidays. That is a level of sickness that I just like, wow. Unbelievable. But I'm glad a lot of people are calling her out and they're posting about her fantasies. So it's just like, oof, that's just nasty. That is a level of nastiness that is unbelievable. Shelly L, thank you so much for your donation. She says, is a clear case of deflection based on the need for survival in their minds. As long as they point to hate towards us, they would be hated less. It's just the royal family against Meghan and Harry. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. What's interesting about this Joanna person? She is from Boston. And it's very interesting because obviously we know that the Cambridges were just in Boston. So, I don't know. Could that have been us? I'm not saying that, they told her to do this, but if you're a royalist, you were in Boston, they were just there in Boston. It's just, unbelievable. Um, Amazing. Whitland Harper says Malcolm X said that pedal the disrespect he spoke of is not just in the United States but in all other countries. For the squatties with the 1 year and with the squatty with the 1 year old daughter, I say bully build her self esteem daily. Okay, for the squatties with the 1 year old daughter, I say build her self esteem daily. Absolutely great advice. Absolutely great advice. And, and again, my hope is by the time she grows up, that we would be in a completely different place where this is concerned. So she does not have to face this mess. But yeah, building that self esteem is important because just in case we are. Adrian says the royal family is a disgrace in so many ways, in absolutely so many ways, in so many ways. And I think, someone mentioned on Twitter, the royal family not speaking out about Jeremy Clarkson has definitely emboldened others. They're going to be quiet. The press, they're giving a fake apology. So why not? We can go ahead and make money off of hating her, of course. And that, again, that's the reason they're not, the royal family, their silence is in, some people are like, oh well, they can't speak. Obviously, that's part of the British press mantra. The royal family cannot speak out, which we know it's a lie. But part of it is we're silent. We're just giving people who support us, especially white supremacists, we're just giving them permission, because if we speak out, then our followers, them, um you know then they wouldn't feel as emboldened to go on the attack. But the thing with the royal family is yeah, it's one thing people are attacking Harry and Meghan, but that doesn't mean that you are loved. More and more people are not here for the royal family. I think it was the last episode I shared an article about It's Rising, where young people want them abolished. They rather have a government they can vote for instead of having the royal family. So they could be silent and let people attack Harry and Meghan, but that doesn't mean people are for them. And it's funny because they did like their Christmas walkabouts on Christmas Day, obviously. And one of the ladies, she was the lady that took that photo of Harry and Meghan and Kate and William walking to the church, and she made tons of money from that. So she was there again this on Sunday, and she spoke to the press. And one of the things she said is like, one, the crowd wasn't as large as it usually is. And even when they were walking by, it was very silent. People weren't really cheering for them. And she said that the biggest cheer actually went for that Zara's husband, Mike, whatever his last name is, I forgot. But people weren't really cheering. People were just watching them go by. And so she said it was a very, very different vibe. And she didn't know if it was, because of Harry and Meghan's documentary, whatever. But people, little by little, even the royalists are sort of pulling back, because if you're going to get up at Christmas morning in the freezing to go watch royals, only royalists would do that mess. And even them, when they're there and are quiet, and not really, I'm sure there are people that were talking to them, or, at least cheering a little bit. But she said compared to previous years, they were pretty much quiet. So very interesting. They could be silent to people hate Meghan and Harry, but it doesn't mean people are loving them or want them there. So interesting. Let's see. Lorna says, just watched episodes 1 and 2 of Harry and Meghan documentary last night. I will continue to watch the rest. I'm loving it so far. Lorna, you just now watch. Lorna, you gotta catch up, girl. Someone told me that earlier because I only watched it about 10 times. They're like, Petal, you have to catch up. Only 10 times. So Lorna, I pass it on. Catch up, girl. No, I'm kidding with you. I know people are busy, got work, got kids, got family to take care of. Totally understand. I am just pulling your legs. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. The rest of it you love, you love, you love. So enjoy, my dear. Terry says the most disrespected person in America is the black woman, Malcolm X. Yes, 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 in so many ways. Let's see. What else? Karen M says, I hate when it's so easy for black men to disrespect us with the B word or get a woman pregnant and then leave. Oh my goodness. It is so disrespectful. And it's just, it's so funny. Megan did that episode about the B word. Is a lot of them they don't respect black women. They don't respect us. And so a lot of times for me, I'm like, look, again, when stuff happened with them, we are the first to run out to support. And it's like, sometimes you'd be like, you know what? Y'all need to be on your own for sometimes. You guys figure out your mess, because until you respect us, we're not coming out there and supporting your mess. Until you show us respect. And, you can't force people to care about you. You can't force people to respect you. But I'm certainly not of the, no matter what they do, I'm out respect. I'm like, no, you got to earn that. And a lot of them have not. So, yeah. Let's see. Anne Lewis says the 5 tabloid owners are too powerful around the world. They can spread propaganda, change governments. They're valid laws to protect the public, or do newspaper owners have dirt on everyone? I would say a lot of them have dirt on just about everyone, but I would think in each country there are some laws where, if they continue to do this, they can take their license away or take something away. I mean, again, I don't understand why Rupert Murdoch is allowed to operate. I don't understand why there aren't laws. Yes, we want a free press for whatever, but this is not journalism. A lot of this stuff is not journalism. They're using the press to abuse. And so I don't understand. I do not understand it at all. And Adrian Burrows says, it's ridiculous. Harry and Meghan's crimes are about helping the unfortunate, and all they can charge them with is skin color. Give me a break. I'm not sure I understand this, right? Because Harry and Meghan's crimes are about helping the unfortunate, and all they can charge them with is skin color. I'm not sure I understand, Adrian. So if you can explain what you mean, thank you so much. Let's see. Patricia says, so true, cookies and cream. We need more civil rights civil rights org to address the hate. Yeah, we have some maybe need to be more active, but I think it behooves all of us to address the hate, right? Because we can't just rely on the civil rights movements or different organizations. All of us need to call it out. All of us need to do it, and then support the organization. I mean, I know I was on the NAACP the other day, but I need to be supporting them more and be, being there and in whatever way to support them. And then I personally need to speak out as well, which I do. And so I think all of us have to take the responsibility of speaking out. And if they're not doing, then organize. I remember, during BLM, during the summer, what was it, 2021? or whatever, when it was, when the big marches were, or is it 20, I'm losing track, 2020 I think it was, when I remember, I think it was the a march in San Francisco. I think it was a march across the San Francisco Bridge or something like that. That was organized by a 17-year-old. So I think all of us, if it's not happening, then be the one to take it up and be like, you know what? I'm going to organize and do whatever I need to do to call out the hate, call it out. I think all of us need to do it. Um, so yeah, because all of us have a voice. Um, let's see. Dolores says the only person the royal family want back is Harry the Spare. Oh yeah, they definitely would. That's why they hate Meghan, because Meghan has helped Harry to see he's not. And Harry knew that before, but she has really, her being in his life, they can't manipulate him as they usually would, or at least try to manipulate him as they would. And I think that's why they're trying so hard to break that up, because as we've seen, William is not much of anything. So Lottie says, I've watched the documentary every night and loved every single moment of it. Okay, Lottie, you are a true addict. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm right behind you there, Lottie, right behind you. Noreen says, I'm going in for the fourth time. I just love our addiction. I love it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Sylvia says, Petal and Lydia, they need to remove that article about Meghan. I will never read that article. Yeah, I'm not reading it either. Will they remove it? I don't think so, because it's getting attention. The thing about it is with media outlets is the one of the reasons I am not engaging with it is they don't, even though the editor is online trying to defend himself and all of that stuff, because people are calling him out, this lousy, this is equivalent to the Sun's editor allowing Jeremy Clarkson his column in. And so I guess he is insecure because people are calling him out for that. But I'm sure Politico is not going to take that article down, because why? It gets engagement. They don't care. The management don't care if you hate it or like it. What they care about is that it gets engagement. Eyes are on it. Even if you hate it and even if you're screaming hate at it, they don't care. The more eyes on it, the more money they make. And that's why I refuse to click on it. And that's why I refuse to share it, on social media. And so it's one of those things that don't care. So I don't think they're going to take it down, because the more we scream about it, the more people are going to go watch it or read it. And so they're making money. So, yeah. Would it be nice for them to take it down? Yeah. The same thing with the Hollywood Reporter. Even though Letitia went at them, they refused to take it down. They refused to remove her name, and they left it there. So I don't expect they will do that. Let's see. Dolores says Ivy Burroughs has been writing to different organizations of authority for years, and no one has set up yet. Sussex Global UK podcast. What are you referring to? She wrote to different organizations of authority about what exactly? I'm assuming you're responding to someone, but I'm not sure. So let us know what it is Ivy have been writing about. So yeah. Let's see. Moving on, let's see. Hmm. Diane Hawkins says, yes, they supposedly took down the promo but kept the article. No worries. Competent attorneys will still find plenty of cause for a defamation lawsuit. Yeah. When you're putting in an article that someone is narcissistic, that's a diagnosis that you are not, Joanna Weiss is not a professional that can diagnose that. And so you put that in, but that's libel. That's, you doing that against someone's reputation, and to label someone narcissistic when you're not in a position to diagnose them. You most likely have never met Meghan. And so, yeah, so if a lawyer wants to go after Politico, they can. They definitely can. Whitland says, who owns Politico? Season greetings, Squatty and Pedal. There's some German guy. So I am have to, the next episode I will have I'll look him up, and we can talk about it next episode. I don't know much about him other than it was said that he has the mindset of Rupert Murdoch. So that's all I know so far. Don't know. I don't know anything else about him. So very interesting. This Piers Morgan, someone hacked Piers Morgan's Twitter account. And it seemed the hackers are somewhere in Africa, because some of the things they were posting on there sort of have reference to somewhere in Africa, some country in Africa. But he got hacked, and they were tweeting all sorts of craziness also about him hating the Queen and all sorts of craziness on his end. So if you go on there, I don't know if it's back up or not, but it's like, it's shut down basically, and this is all you see on Piers Morgan. I was like, to not have to see something from Piers Morgan for a day is a very beautiful thing. May it stay like this forever. I have no sympathy. I have literally no sympathy for this man. And so, I'm like, hackers, go ahead and have fun. I have zero sympathy. And I don't think anyone else has sympathy for him at all. So yeah, it's just, I just, for some reason, I saw it trending and I was like, what is going on? And then realized, yep, he got hacked. So again, who knows? But it seemed from some of the screenshots people have took from it before it went down, that it seemed like the hackers were somewhere in Africa. So yeah. Let's see. Diane says, serve pigs right. Pigs. I love Xmas hacking for him. It just, if he's probably pulling, what's left of his hair out, because he can't be online spilling his bile. But I am like, look, yeah. Sylvia says, Politico and Newsweek are just tabloids now. Yeah, I put Newsweek in the same in that same fold as well. I've blocked both of them. Newsweek, Jack, whatever his name is, that do royal reporting, is just, oh gosh, I just can't even with that. So yeah, I blocked all of them. Let's see. Joan Hickey says Meghan is expendable and they're still protecting Harry. Yeah, and that's the thing too that a lot of people were pointing out. Apparently, the article is about the Harry and Meghan docuseries that I don't know, I guess she hates the docuseries or whatever. But but look at the photo. Harry is not in the photo. Among the real narcissists, Harry is not there. Only Meghan. And it's like, let's destroy Meghan so we can have Harry back and so we can continue our fantasy. It's unreal. Let's see. Connie Barmer says, after testing freedom, Harry isn't ever going back to be pushed around. He owns a mansion compared to Frogmore. Do you really think Harry would leave all that to go back? No. And, in the documentary, Harry literally says, I outgrew it. And that's the thing, they talk about, like, even Megan mentions, like, Harry was already on a path to get out of there. He outgrew it, and that was very evident that he outgrew being there. There's literally nothing to go back there to, apart from houses, and for me, that's just, stuff. But as a person, as whether it's mentally, whatever, he literally has outgrown that environment. Look at what he's doing. I mean, with Better Up, he's doing with Travelers. He wouldn't be able to do all those things. The way he's able to freely do them now. A lot of that stuff has to come under the royal umbrella, and they have their protocols and all of that stuff. I mean, look at what they. If he definitely wouldn't have been able to do the Netflix series, and it wouldn't have been able to be with Netflix or Spotify. So he outgrew it. And it's amazing that people literally, this man will be speaking, and Larry in the documentary literally says, Meghan never asked me to leave. It was my decision to leave. He literally said it. And for some reason that goes woo over the head. And no, it's Meghan. Meghan is the one that, and it's just like, really? So they absolutely refuse to believe that Harry would want to leave them. In their mind, no, Harry will have to, he would want to always be. And it's just like, no. Unbelievable. Cookies and Cream says Politico will take down the article if enough civil rights leaders, organizations, and people get involved. They don't want to lose advertisers and revenue. Also, many people are calling out the Unroyals. That's true. That's true. That would be, that would be that I could totally see them doing that one. Yeah, if enough of them get involved in it. I could totally see them, and if we go after advertisers. So, but I think it's been the article has been up there for a few, quite a few hours. So if they take it down, they could definitely feel like, well, I got money out of it, so, or at least I got attention out of it. So yeah, but yeah, I could totally see this. I mean, it's the only reason why the Sun, they didn't expect the backlash that they got. And that's the reason that, of course, it's like Jeremy Clarkson asked them to take it down. But if they didn't get the backlash that they got, they would have never taken it down. So there you go. Let's see. Reba says Harry will not return to that cage of the mind. The spare refuses to be a footstool. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping if Harry does, and this is my dream, if Harry does the interviews with Tom Bradby and Anderson Cooper, I hope he, if he hadn't already addressed it in the book, I hope he addressed some of these things. I want him to call out white women. These women who have fantasies about him and hating on his wife. I would want him to call them out. I would want him to go into depth about, and he probably did it in his book about leaving, about people, the misogyny, that they're attacking and hating on Meghan for his decision. And whenever there are things that they hate about the two of them, it's always Meghan that gets the brunt of the hate. And so I hope they talk about that. I hope, who knows if the reporters will ask or lead in that direction. But if I was, doing an interview with him, all this stuff would come up. I would really want him to address those Karens. I want him to be like, look, you're not the one. I'm not going to marry you. Leave my wife alone. I really want him to address them specifically. No, I don't. You're not on my list. No, it's never going to be you. Go off and find yourself someone and leave me and my wife alone. I really want him to go after them. Will he? Probably not, but that's my dream. Let's see. A few more before we go. Angela Thomas says James O'Brien said it best: hate sells, and the tabloid papers promote hate with the public, with their lies and misinformation to promote hate to increase sales. Yeah, hate does sell. It definitely sells. I mean, you know, hate and lies. I mean, that saying is like a lie will go around the world and come back before the truth gets out the door. And it's so true. By the time the truth comes out, everybody has already believed the lie and the truth. No, but everybody just ignores the truth because the truth is slow to to permeate through things. And so, yeah, hate and lies definitely sell. Let's see. Sash says spare will include how much of a sacrificial lamb Harry was for William. Ooh, man, I'm telling you, over and over again, Harry was laid on the altar of sacrifice to cover William's sins, and I want him to go in depth. I do not want him to spare William at all, and I think with all that William have done, Harry and Meghan have gone out of their way to spare him. Even talking about what he did with Jason Knopf and leaking that stuff to the tabloids and all of that stuff, and leaking Harry's private emails and Meghan private email and text. They could have been so much more explicit about that stuff. They could have gone really in depth and just nailed William, and they haven't. They're still protecting him. They are still protecting him. And so I would, I hope, but again, Harry is not that kind of person. I would do it, but let's see. Michelle says, in the eyes of some, just being black is a crime. Therefore, Meghan is guilty. That what he not sure what else you're saying, but I do understand the first part. Yeah, just being black. And it's like that article was saying, it's like, if you can't trust white women and black men to protect, like, where, and they're, look at this statue, look at the level of fame and accomplishment there. If they can't be protected, what about us, little old us? They have the money, they have the power, the influence, and still they are targeted and hate and abused. Let's see. Let's see. Diane, I think you're it. I keep landing on you, so you're it today. Megan said she's been fed to the wolves, and we know chief feeder are Billy and Karen and C-Turd in order. Who is C-Turd? Oh, who is C-Turd? Not sure. Okay. Oh, Charles the Third. Oh, okay, Charles the Third. Okay, I'm like, okay. Thank you, Diane. So true, Connie. That would have gone to that person if it was Kate. They would have gone out for that person if it was Kate. Yeah, I mean, you think in terms of Jeremy Clarkson and all of that stuff. Nobody would. I mean, gosh, you can only imagine what the palace would have put out if that person had been Kate that Jeremy Clarkson went after. Unbelievable. But it's Meghan. She's got black blood, so you're on your own, Meghan. Let's see. Cookies and Cream says that little smear stunt by the Unroyals through Politico is going to backfire big time. It's putting them in a bad light. It's going to spark a major backlash. And it's so funny. It hasn't failed. Like I haven't, what I'm saying. Kensington Palace, William and Kate just hired that American guy, Lee Thompson, I think his last name is, as their new comms person. And so I'm not surprised because again, he used to work. If I remember clearly, he used to work for NBC. He was like a media comms guy at NBC, and that means you have connection with a lot of these media outlets in the U.S. So it's not a surprise to me to see that a lot of these media outlets in the US that most likely, I'm not saying I don't have evidence that he's the one that, is, giving them that nudge to be shady or to be negative towards Meghan. But would I be shocked? No. I would absolutely not be shocked. And for me, there's a specific reason why he was hired by Kensington Palace. And one of the things we know how Kensington Palace work, like we looked at Pagefield PR the other day. One of the ways they work is they work to protect the reputation of their people. And one of the things we looked at with Martin Townsend from Pagefield is that he followed a lot of hate accounts that has spread hate towards Meghan 24/7. Would I be shocked if in protecting his principles at Kensington Palace, part of that is using the US media to attack Meghan and Harry? Would I be shocked if he is somehow involved in that? No, that would be the least surprising thing. Again, I don't have evidence that he does, but all of a sudden he is hired by Kensington Palace, and all of a sudden the American media is like, okay, let's turn. And it's like, okay. Really? So interesting. I will not be surprised at all. But again, Kensington Palace, and they're not going to benefit from it because, yeah, the press could be writing hate, but Pete, again, look at the audience that just are still watching Harry and Meghan over and over and over and digesting that. They're not buying that narrative, and they're not looking at the royal family in a positive light at all. So, Sylvia says, I saw on Twitter that crazy lady that wrote the article was upset about Harry's book Spare, but is blaming of course. Of course. Of course. Harry writes a book, but let's blame Meghan. Let's blame her. She is it's just, yeah. Because again, if they blame Harry, that destroys their fantasy. Harry needs to be perfect because they need him for their fantasy. If they attack him and blame him for anything, then that's destroying their fantasy. So we see that so evident in so many, whether it's British reporters, whether it's the Rangers, whether it's American reporters, whatever. You can tell the ones that have that Harry fantasy. No matter what he does and says, they will always just bypass it and go attack Meghan. Notice, when Harry spoke in the Me You Can See, he spoke in Oprah, he's, in the Harry Meghan docuseries, all the things Harry says, nobody goes after Harry and call him a liar. 99, there was a couple of things that they're like, oh, he rode a bike and so inconsequential stuff. But nobody has been attacking him as a liar. But they've been attacking Meghan. So for me, it's like if they discredit Harry, if they call him even look at what Harry talked about, about William and his dad and all of that stuff. Nobody has challenged anything Harry says. They didn't like it, but they didn't challenge it. But people are going after Meghan because she's mocking herself curtsy. I mean, yeah. Because if they go after Harry again, it destroys their fantasy. Lydia says, exactly, pal. He said he wanted to leave. He said from the start he wanted to leave. When was all this concern when he was away at the military? He was gone 10 years. Yeah, exactly. Oh, he didn't have a black woman there with him. Yeah. Harry has said this over and over and over. He literally says, I don't even like England all that much. I mean, he was referring to because of the press, But yeah, he's wanted to be away from there. But, it's Meghan's fault. Let's see. Couple more before we done. Lorna says she's not a clinical doctor. She cannot diagnose someone without first treating them. She is wrong in all cases. Yeah, and that's why I said, like, if her lawyer wants to go after them, that would be, that would be one angle, because, you can't be labeling someone like that. Yeah, that's libel. Yeah. Let's see. Couple more before we end. Whitland says they're shocked Harry and Meghan are able to build such a successful life in the space of 2 years. As for William, he's envious of that his brother has a woman who is capable of building up her man. Kate no bueno. Yeah, believe me, they're all shocked. They really wanted this, especially this docu-series, to flop. They were just like, they cannot believe Harry and Meghan are literally on their own, are successful in everything they have touched. They're winning awards. They do all of these great things without the monarchy, and are showing the world without the monarchy. And all of a sudden, because again, you have to turn around and ask, well, if Harry and Meghan could do all of that without the monarchy, without taxpayer funds, why do we have a monarchy again? And I'm not sure how many of you have saw the King's speech. Oh goodness, last I think it was the last episode. It was, we were talking about King Charles is not going to minimize on his coronation, that they're not going to do any cuts. And to hear this man in his speech talk about, his heart for the, people who are going through cost of living crisis and all of that stuff. And I said it before, if the people of the UK do not abolish the monarchy and they are not on the street protesting about that nonsense coronation that's going to be taking up all that money, and then you got trooping that's going to be coming up in July that's going to be taking all this money, and they are having cost of, they can't pay their bills, they can't feed their children, all of that stuff. If they're not on the street protesting, then y'all deserve what you got, because they're under no circumstance. You're going through all that struggle, and they're taking all that money, and then this man have the nerve, gall, and audacity on Christmas Day to be telling you in your face, basically normalizing food banks. That is ridiculous. Why? I'm like, why aren't you out there protesting this stuff? Why aren't you outraged? They're taking your money to do a coronation that nobody asked for. No other monarchy in all of Europe do coronations, apparently. I just learned that. None of them do coronations. So this coronation is completely not necessary at all. The UK apparently is the only nation with a monarchy that does that was doing a coronation, that does coronation. The other monarchies don't. So this is unnecessarily taking your money, and then there's going to be more money for trooping the color and all the nonsense. And on top of that, your money is also going to the sovereign grant, which last year was 102 million pounds. I'm sure this year is going to go up. So for me, if you're not, if the people of the UK are not out there protesting and demanding that none of this mess happens, then I hate to say you got what you got. This is ridiculous. So if you didn't listen to the speech, bless your heart. I had to listen to it because, obviously I need to talk about it, so I need to know what he said. But it was so irritating. It was just so aggravating listening to someone just sit there, and then people are like, oh, it's a wonderful speech. It was a speech. It's a unifying speech. And I'm like, unifying around what? And who is being unified? Not the people who can't pay their bills. So anyways, that's my thing. I'm not in the UK, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn. So that's my beef on that. So anyways, Let's see. Sylvia says, yes, Lydia, I'm sure Harry's other girlfriends, as well as his cousin Eugenie and Beatrice, tried to tell him about the mean girl who is his sister-in-law. But I truly believe he's seeing her now. Oh, yeah. Because I mean, he thought of Kate as his sister, and it is very clear from the funeral that their relationship is not what it used to be. Very clear. So yeah. Anyway, one more before we head out. Angela says King Charles III and his office just can't read a room. Period. I'm telling you, it seems the entire monarchy, they just can't, or maybe they can read a room and they just don't care. They don't care. They flat out just don't care. And so, which is what I think it is. I think they know what it is and they don't care. They know people are just going to accept it and they can just do what they want. So there you go. I mean, it explains Andrew. It explains a lot. They don't care. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Not a whole lot going on in the royal world other than what we just talked about. And that's, for the holiday season, that's much. But the only thing I say, please pray for our faves. I mean, I'm hoping they're not, they had to deal with the Jeremy Clarkson mess. I hope they've turned off everything. They're away, just relaxing, not knowing any of this mess. And so please pray for them. Please pray, again, they are strong, but as we know, even strong people, even they look strong on the outside, need prayers and encouragement and all the things that we can give to them so that they can stand up in the face of this hate. This is a lot. This is a lot for people to have to put up with. And for all these years and to come back into your own country and to see your own people doing this to you, I can't imagine. So please pray for them. Keep them in your prayers. Love, yeah. And that the Lord will protect them in every way. So anyways, thank you guys so much. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Church, Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream. Thank you guys for being amazing moderators that you are. Thank you so very much. Thank you to our 2 cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis, out of the kindness of their hearts. Thank you, all of you. I need to add more people onto this as well, but thank you all so much for that. Thank you to our Gold Star supporters who support chat, support us in the chat here. The super thanks, super stickers, just straight up donations. Thank you so much. Also PayPal, Cash App, merchandise, every which way that you support the channel. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And I think I missed someone donating, and I've been trying to find it in the chat and I cannot find it. And sometimes this does that. And I cannot locate it. So I am going to go through my chat at the end and go through the super thanks and super and the donations and to find who it is that I missed so that I could thank you, and I will thank you tomorrow. But in advance, thank you so much. I didn't mean to miss you. It just jumped and I could not find it. So thank you again so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. I'll probably join you and Baron or the Duchess of Success at some point today. So I love you all and have a fantastic day. Bye.